So, hello again. We are here for exploring together a very interesting text by Namkhai Norbu, The Cycle of a Day and Night. We have here one of the first translations to English. Namkhai Norbu wrote his text in Tibetan after receiving the dream, then after he forgot it, remembered it, wrote it down in Tibetan, and then we have this translation by John Myrdhin Reynolds, also known as Lama Varja Nata. I don't remember well. There are other translations also. I have one from the Italian guy, Adriano Clemente. We already knew this author. It's a very early Dzogchen text. It's from the 90s. I think, I don't know if we have the 84 or 87 edition here, but the first translation was from 84. And it discusses, it goes back, it's traceable back to an original text from Garab Dorje, in which he encourages to include the awareness teaching day and night. Thank you very much, Yeshé. As always, we have the 1984 edition here. Okay, and before we start, I wanted to make a little experiment with you, as we are also kind of mind scientists here, to get a feel for what can it give us when we include this awareness teaching in the whole cycle of day and night. So we will need both hands. I invite you to take your left hand open like this. And we need from the right hand just the index finger. And soon we will try to poke through the left hand with the index finger. And since we are awareness holders, we can not only feel that this might not work, we can see that our mind has the bias already that will not work, that we already are in a condition, in a situation made up by our mind that this will never work. But anyway, we'll do it. Please, without force, just gently, like putting your finger in the dough, approach your other hand. Try to poke through. And look at the other side if the finger is going out or not. And obviously, did anybody has a hole now in his left hand? No, obviously not. And we had made a little experiment. We had a little research group, almost 20 people. So we have 20 data sets. But for a real science, doing science is not enough, 20. And if we imagine, we would do this experiment 1,000 times, day and night. Will the finger always are we always not able to poke the finger through our hands? I will suggest, if you do it 1,000 times during night and day, we will have at least 20 to 30 times where the finger will pass easily through our hand, and we can see it from the other side. Maybe it's just 10. It depends how used we are with the practice. And how is this? If we would do this tests, let's say every half an hour, when we have the experience of having a hand, and this is obviously during the daytime, Then there are, during the 24 cycles, if we had awareness the whole cycle, we will have experiences or instances we have no hands during deep sleep. So we are not able to do this experiment. But with the first dream, and if you are dreaming that we're having a human body, we will have our hands at our disposal. And we could do this test again. And when we'll do it in a dream, and since we have the awareness already, we have the clarity that so this dream is already arising as a lucid dream, we know that all our hands are made out of mind, and our finger will easily go through. This is one of the reality tests lucid dreamers or people that like to experience lucid dream do to distinguish waking reality from a dream. Because the first thing you will discover with lucid dreaming that in dreams you are completely fooled. You're completely believing this to be true like now. I'm believing now that there are really people on the other side sitting in front of cameras, that my body is real, made of matter. The same feeling I have in a dream. And one of the tests to distinguish this is manipulating your hands, because like the first AIs, also our dreaming mind has very high, finds it difficult to generate hands. There is something odd with our hands in our dreams. Maybe we have more fingers, we can manipulate them easily, we can take one finger and make it long. We can watch our hands, close it, and then watch again, and something odd will disappear in our hands. I had faces, or I had like holes in it. And another test is the poking test. We poke through it. And we would do this test 1,000 times during the whole cycle of night and day. We will have some insights to our reality, that our reality is much of the times not so real as it looks for us. And similarly, with this text, Dzogchen and later Namkhai Norbu invites us to be lucid during day and night as much as possible. And if we approach this from like a scientific point of view, to have a lot of, each time we would be lucid, we will have one data moment. We would have one experience of lucidity. And if we collect a lot of these data moments during natal time, we could have a lot collection of experiences, and then we could see or deep into our nature of experience. We could see that sometimes during day and night we have no body. Our body is completely gone, and we have seemingly no experience, but awareness is still there. This would be the deep sleep, which they're also possible to have dreams in deep sleep, but they're mostly kind of very, how you say, abstract. You don't have much body, it's just lights and maybe sounds or some weird, not coherent narration going on. And for me, including this practice for the whole cycle, and I'm also amateur. Okay, we said not putting yourself down, but I'm doing it. It was interesting to see that my biases for reality changed, having this broad, different experiences in time. For example, one can discover that even time is an illusion, and maybe even space. But we should discover for ourselves. And for this discovery, this text is very helpful. And we are just beginning. We are in the first. Oh, yes. Dago has managed it. And I don't know, maybe we should call ambulance now. Maybe he did a brute force attack. Oh, or maybe this is also very important if you want to have some lucid dreams. If you get something like this, someone in your experience says to you that it's a dream, or this might be a dream, better check it. Okay, for me it's not. But this is a very common thing when you are into lucid dreaming, and your mind will help you to get lucid in dreams. And this can happen from other people approaching you. Other people approaching you in a dream and saying to you, for example, this is a dream, or saying to you, something is odd about this reality. Could it be a dream? Something like this. Okay, we are here in the first section of the book, of this Upadesha text. It's a very short text, and this first section is very important, but nothing really new for us. It's the, you could say, the theoretic introduction. What is Dzogchen? What is the awareness practice? How to, and everything, the interesting part for us will come later. How to practice this during night and day. So I will read now. The awareness arising at the first sudden instant of sense contact is indeed that pure presence which arises without correction or modification, and which is uncreated by causes. This very condition of existence, which transcends the limitation of both subject and object, is the authentic, self-originated, primal awareness of pure presence. What he's saying here is that with this awareness practice, we like our experience as raw as possible. The first sudden instant of sense contact, before our mind is creating a lot of story about our experience, before our experience gets boiled and seasoned by our concepts, we try to access the very first moment when our experience is still raw, when the energy is raw and is not cooked or baked. And he's saying this first instant arises without correction or modification. So if we want to do nothing with our experience, we just join the first sudden arising of experience. Again, he is talking here about about condition of existence. Maybe a term we are not using here. Maybe we could use our ground of beingness or our maybe someone has a suggestion. What he's talking about, he's talking about where all the things are coming. And oh yeah, it's the womb. I started the exploration with the mother, so this is perfect. Thank you very much. And basis, ground, thank you, yes. Oh, my mic is noisy. I will do, thank you. I will do Rauschunterdrückung. Better, I hope. Ah, yes, that could be. Also, my MacBook has problems cooling itself at the moment. Okay, he's talking about also about this authentic, self-originated, primal awareness of pure presence. We could, for our purpose, also just speak about awareness of awareness, or Rigpa, the moment if we are aware about our awareness constructing our experience. So I read the next one. With respect to this pure presence, the three aspects of the state of Samantabhadra are truly complete. Being devoid of any karmic traces, its essence, which is the Dharmakaya, is emptiness. Being devoid of thoughts and concepts, its nature, which is the Sambhogakaya, is clarity. Being devoid of any desires or attachments, its energy, which is the Namanakaya, is unobstructed and uninterrupted. So he says, if we have a state of enlightenment, we have the three bodies perfected, the Trikaya. We speak a lot about the Trikaya in our group. If there are maybe some questions about this, I can go into it. But the Trikayas are description about, or very precise descriptions how we experience our real nature. We could say that the Trikayas are helping us getting a feel for the underlying reality of our experience, and that a Buddha has not three bodies, kaya meaning body, but it's a way for us to get a feeling for the whole thing, for the empty aspects, for the cognizant aspect of our awareness, and also for the phenomena arising as energy of the awareness. Okay, let's read the next one. Maybe we finish this and then we have the introduction finished. Such an awareness, in just its coming into being, is entirely devoid of dualistic thought, which think in terms of subject and object, and so external appearances arise as manifestation of clarity without any grasping at conceptions or judgments. Appearances present themselves in the state of the real condition of existence. So again, he's pointing out that we have a chance to access our experience before our dualistic thoughts appear. And if we are abiding in this point, that we will experience our everything as the manifestation of our awareness, and all the solidifying before the phenomena get solidified by our mind into objects and subjects. And the last sentence of this previous section is, because its unconditioned, natural, instantaneous awareness encounters the real condition of existence as its mother, we speak of it as Dhammakaya. Remaining in this condition of spontaneous, self-perfected, pure presence is the natural state of the great perfection. So again, we have mentioned the great big mother, the womb of all our experience, where our experience comes from, and he showing us that it's possible to have awareness of at the same time having awareness of the phenomena, but also of the womb where the phenomena are happening. And then we will discover that all the phenomena are never, that this great womb of our mother Dharmakaya never gives birth to anything. Everything stays in the womb and goes back into the womb. There is no birth happening. There is no real subject or object coming out of the womb. And this is very important also for the 24-hour practice, to have access to be in contact with the Dharmakaya, with the great host of our experience of night and day. And the way to get to have contact with this great mother is our awareness. I hope that was clear. And do you have any questions? This concludes the first topic of the practice of the day, which was understanding by experience, or as we would say here in our group, recognizing awareness. And to go back to our little experiment that we did at the beginning, how you could do this, or how one could have lucid dream, or how the text will tell us. The text will not have this little experiment. The text will have something else, but the text will invite us to connect evening and morning. Normally, there's a great gap between evening and morning. We are unconscious. We go sleep and wake up. And if we're lucky, we wake up in the same place. So, but this text will invite us to connect evening and morning. This is the start for the practice. To go to sleep in a state of awareness and have the intention that the first thing in the morning when waking up will have that you find yourself also in a state of awareness. And how I did this, the text will have a certain method we can explore, but the first thing I experienced for myself that I go to sleep, had intention, and in the morning I wake up and then I remember. Okay. Let's relax into the view. And with time, this moment of remembering will get very fast. So at the moment I wake up, I found myself already in the view. And this is the approach that this text will invite us to do. To have this clear intention in the evening and then try to, the first thing, wake up in the view. And then all the other between states will become more clear with time. And if one would do this with our little experiment, one would go to sleep and have the intention, the next moment I see my hands, I do the experiment. And then one has to be very consequential and do it next time we see your hands. And if it's in the morning, wake up, do it. But then it will sneak into your dreaming. And you will say, if you have really the consequential intention, I will do it the next time I see my hands. Suddenly you will see your hands in the dream and you remember, I want to do this. And then you will do it and you see, why is it working now? And then you have the logical thought, this must be a dream. Okay, but this we will explore the next time. Are there any thoughts or many questions about this practice? Yeah, Ronnie, please.
The linking the going to sleep and or you know the last thing you do is being awareness with waking up is such a great idea, and I think that's an experiment I'll be starting with, because I usually end with a wee meditation before I go to bed anyway, so I can kind of do that. And also I just wanted to say, Rolpa, that your teaching, you're going through the text is fantastic. I've loved all your sessions. It's great stuff. And also this text in particular, the description of the three kayas there was so concise and so clear. It was really, really good. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this text is very pithy. You can see that if it's really from Garab Dorje, it's really from Garab Dorje to other practitioner. It's not for lay people. It's not a lot of words. It's for people who knew already awareness practice, who are already in the business and just need some very clear, practical explanations. For example, like linking evening and morning. And also and then later on in the text, he will describe what you will encounter, like the bardo states, and very interesting stuff. Yeah, and next time I will present also in the original text there are 3 practitioners mentioned after Garab Dorje who worked with this text, and it's very interesting to see the biographies. And also one of them has a picture of him, a portrait, very interesting. Okay, if there are no other questions, or we will end here with a dedication. Oh, Yasmin, yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Yeah, I think my connection is really bad today. Let me just put in low bandwidth mode. I think that will help. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So because I remember so many of my dreams, and I've had some odd dream occurrences, I'm wondering what is the Dzogchen take on them? Because I mentioned before, for example, I had this deceased cat come to me in my dream, and I saw basically the scenario of how the cat died or why the cat died before I knew that the cat had actually died. It has happened to me a couple of other times as well, like with a friend. The friend came to me and I just had this knowing in the dream that they had passed away, and then I found out that they passed away like a couple of weeks later. And also sometimes when I'm dreaming, I'm aware of another presence in the dream with me, and I feel like a lot of my dreams are guided dreams. And sometimes, for example, I remember this one dream where I was on a mountaintop and I was moving along kind of like I was on a conveyor belt, and I was just seeing the scenery around me, but I was highly aware of someone standing behind me, even though I couldn't see them, and I was just aware of their presence. And I mentioned before, like I had an encounter with a light being in my dream, like a man made of energy. And so my understanding of dreams is that they're kind of like a stage, and we can create on them, and they very much are connected to the mind. But for me, I've also been able to encounter beings or spirits and things like that. So there are still elements of truth that I've had in my dreams as well. So I'm just wondering, how does that fit into this practice and the Dzogchen take?
Yeah, thank you. A very vivid dream. Dreams you have already. So the Dzogchen way to work with dreams is like in waking life, to recognize the awareness creating the dream. And you're not so much engaged with actual phenomena or the narrative of the dream, but you want to see the great mother behind constructing the dream.
But is it within the, I guess, doctrine or system to be able to co-create in a dream?
Of course, yes. And maybe we'll encounter also the techniques of Tibetan dream yoga, which is more a tantric approach because you're engaging with the energy of the dream. You try to be lucid, become lucid, and then to engage with your dream scenery, with other beings, with the landscape. There are different kind of practices, very interesting. But with a Dzogchen perspective would be get lucid, and in the moment you are lucid and realizing the nature of your dream, which is your mind, wisdom and compassion comes automatically. So Dzogchen approach would not be about interpreting dreams you had, but in the moment you wake up in a dream to discover this dream with all your wisdom and compassion coming naturally after getting lucid.
Okay, thank you.
But having a vivid memory is very good. The first stepping stone for lucid dreaming is to have interest in your dreams and having a good memory of dreams. That means your brain is already taking dreams seriously.
Yeah, and I began writing my dreams down at one point, and I found that I could remember more and more of each dream, and sometimes I could remember multiple dreams in one night. So just making that effort and writing it down, it just made me be able to remember so much more as well.
Yes, thank you. And it's kind of the same thing what we were talking of earlier, that you make a connection of evening and morning. The intention to write in the morning a dream journal has the same effect. You wake up and immediately you go to write down, and your brain is during the night has something to do, has a mission to accomplish. Yeah, so it's a very important stepping stone for lucid dreaming. Okay, Rangshan, you have also a question?
Well, just sort of bouncing off of what Yasmin had said, which was a kind of a question to you, like in considering dreams, would it also be useful to think of them in the sort of outer, inner, and secret contexts? Same as like with life events where we, experiences where we could think about outer, inner, and secret. The outer being, what it looks like, the inner being what I take away from it, and then the secret being the sort of Dzogchen, the Dzogchen truth. Not using the right terminology, but you know what I mean?
Of course, yes. It's a very good way to look at dreams, I think. Thank you. Okay, Dago is already gone. I think we will follow his example as always. Or now is he gone, we could have some fun also, but let's end the session with the dedication. All the merit we created today, the meditation and discussion, we send it to all the beings suffering in our presence. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good day, good night, and good sleep.